Today on Black Twitter Talk, we are talking Obamacare being the law of the land, DC missing girls, and does Kendrick diss Drake and Big Sean? Stay tuned. Hey.
Hey, hey,
Thanks
hey,
for tuning into Black Twitter Talk. I'm your host, Angie Skates. You can find me on Twitter at Angie_Skates and on the gram at Big_Ange.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm your girl, Kels, looking like your favorite FM professor today. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Urban Gypsy LA.
This is Ella May's new project. This is a song called My Way. It's one of my favorites.
Yes, this is like her third EP out, right?
I only know two.
I only know two as well. But she's DJ Mustard's artist.
Mustard on the beat.
Oh.
Hey. I cannot stop listening to this EP.
I love this EP. I love the one before this. I think it's called Change.
Yeah, this one's called Ready.
Really good. She's really dope. She's a London native.
Yeah, and I love how she sings without her accent, though.
Yeah,
she
sounds like she's from LA.
Yeah, she does. And she's like, the way she's giving it up, her melodic, she's just so good.
She's very good. She's been on tour with Kehlani. She's the opening act for her.
I don't want to see her. I love you, LMA. I can't stop listening. There you go. Go check it out if you haven't heard it. Let's get right into it, you guys. A lot of you all have been talking on Twitter, for those of you that are not on Black Twitter and just watch the show to get updates. DC Missing Girls, that's the new hashtag.
Yes, it is.
So apparently, over the course of the last couple of days, there's been a dozen black girls that have been reported missing. And we talked about this on the last couple of shows, or the show before the last show that we did, where there are 64,000 black women missing in America, right? So apparently, in the DC metro area, there are reports of missing people. There's like 500 since the beginning of the year, since 2017. Right. And of those 500, a dozen of them are young, underage, black and Latino girls, right?
Right. So Twitter, they're announcing it more and more. Like we talked about last week, or last time we aired, we talked about how Twitter has been influencing the passing of information when it comes to the missing girls. So it's been a big thing now with the DC missing girls.
So DC Metro, the police department, they have been posting these links on Twitter. And apparently some of them have gone viral. There have been lots of celebrities that have been retweeting the links of the missing girls. And they're saying, this is the DC Police Department saying that there's not like an anomaly of missing girls that's happening, like, just right now. It's just the way that they're sharing the information. And yes. I'm like, okay, that's one way to look at it, saying that you are tweeting these links because you wanted to get more attention on these missing girls. But now you're saying because the internet has taken hold of it and there's a lot of theories floating around, one being sex trafficking is the reason why these girls are being kidnapped or are missing. And now you're saying, wait a minute, hold up, that might not be the case.
Right, because they're saying that it's actually, the amount of missing girls has actually gone down, is what they're saying. But because this DC missing girls has gone viral, then there's a lot of information coming up now about sex trafficking in America and the government officials being
prosecuted for sex trafficking. So even though DC police is saying that these girls are not the victims of sex trafficking, they're runaways, what are they running away from?
That's my question. So I know I was watching a couple of videos while I was researching, and they had interviewed a girl, and she was saying she ran away from her foster home. And I'm like, okay, so are a lot of the runaways, girls who are in foster homes who are running from their foster parents?
If they are, why aren't these parents being investigated? Like, there is an issue going on.
Yeah, if they're not being kidnapped and they're running away, then we need to find out why they're running away. So the Metropolitan DC mayor had said that some of the things that she's going to implement is that they're going to have more investigation or more ties with DCFS, Department of
Family Services.
Yeah, I'm like, what is the F?
FS.
And they're going to do that. They're going to increase police
As if we need that. Do we need that?
Yes, supervision, which is interesting because when they were talking about the sex trafficking, they're saying that
a lot of the police officers are ones being prosecuted in human sex trafficking, and it's just like, well, I don't know if that's necessarily the answer is to police us more, but like how do we know that they're runaways and not being sex trafficked?
I think it just depends. Because some they're saying some of the girls are reoccurring runaways.
Okay.
Some, I guess, once they find them, they find out they were running away. But then part of it, why they're saying, like, you guys need to stop running away is because it can turn into sex trafficking. Because if you're out there, you're a young girl on your own, then
you have no means of income. You have no family support. There's only so many ways that you can survive on these streets. And that,
yeah, so
you're going to get caught
a man is going to be like, hey, come get in my car.
I think 33, well, this is not me thinking. This is me stating facts. There are 33%, black kids make up 33% of the total missing cases in America, but they're only covered 22% of the time. And I think that this whole campaign brought to light a lot of stories of missing black youth, not just in D.C.
Latinos.
And Latinos, young girls of color, not just in the D.C. area, but just all across that don't get that main stage coverage, that platform. So this is why we're bringing to light this story, even though they're saying that they're not being sex trafficked. It doesn't matter. The point of the matter is that there have been a dozen girls that have gone missing within this short frame time in your area. And regardless of why, it needs to be investigated.
It needs to be investigated. It needs to have a really good media coverage because we need to find them. We need to find out why. And then also a lot of people are asking, well, how come we don't get Amber Alerts for these girls? And we talked about that
last time. Reiterate.
Basically, the Amber Alert, there are criteria for Amber Alerts. It has to be a car involved and you have to be under a certain age, I believe under 15. So then that leaves a wide gap of people who go missing who don't fit that criteria.
And a lot of people are passing judgment on these young girls who have had troubled upbringings and saying, well, why would they go with these men anyway, and blah, blah, blah,
Come
blah, blah.
on.
And it's just like me in my adult life who grew up in an abundance of love don't always make the most sound decisions, especially when it comes to men, you know.
It comes to men, when it comes to money, when you're just young and you have social media and reality TV influencing you, sometimes you just don't know better, or you know better, but you don't always do better when you're younger. That's the whole point. These are young girls who are impressionable, and there are some men who prey on these girls. Like, I mean, come on, like, because we have social media so heavily, like, I'm sure there are guys who literally stalk profiles at points. That's why, to me, at a certain age, you don't even need to have a public social media profile, because people really do that, you know?
Yeah, they do.
But one thing I could say that regardless if it's sex trafficking or not, I'm kind of glad that we are talking a lot more about sex trafficking, because we always think of it as if it's not happening right here in America.
It always feels like something that happens like either in foreign lands or to foreign girls coming to America looking for better opportunities, or it's like something straight out of an SVU episode where it's Detective Olivia Benson or Ofen Tutuola that's on the case, and they're gonna crack it, right? It doesn't. That's my reality.
It doesn't seem like it could be the girl down the street from you.
Yeah, never. It never feels like that, but apparently it's just like that.
Right. And so one of the videos I was watching with the lady, the video looked like it was older, maybe a few years ago, but she was giving information about it, and she said 50% of it happens right here in America. She was talking about how the government agents or government leaders are involved at all levels, and then she mentioned that, like, for child pornography, that if you were to post something on the market, you can get like $1,000 for just one video of you molesting a girl. And
you can make that
money from posting a video of you molesting a girl live by posting it. And then she also said the thing that gets the most money are children under 3.
Under 3, wow.
Yeah, I was like, what? I can't imagine that
and
at all.
I swear these are cases that I see hashed out on SVU, and that's my only reality of it. Like, I can't even fathom.
Scripted show?
Yeah, it doesn't feel real. That's crazy. That's crazy. Another thing that's not getting a lot of media attention is there was a man, Timothy Kaufman, who was killed by a white supremacist in New York. Now, I don't like to share a lot of negative news like this, but the reason why I want to talk about this today is because at what point are we going to start really looking at what terror looks like in this country? Like, when are we going to really sit down and talk about that? This white man traveled from Baltimore to New York with the intention to kill a black man, and he wanted to do it in New York because it would get more coverage.
Wow.
Like, that was his whole reasoning. And what the publications did, what they always do, is victimize the victim. Or they criminalize the victim. And they were bringing up all his old records and things that he's done, you know. And it's just like, it's not about that. Like, there was this really lily white man who traveled from Baltimore to New York to kill a man with a sword. Like,
that's creepy.
That changes it from just a federal hate crime to a terrorist attack. And if this man was Muslim, if this man was Arab, if this man was anything other than white, it would have been labeled just that. And I at what point do we look at who the terrorists really are in this country?
Right. And so the New York Times posts a tweet, and the title or the tweet for the article says, let me look at it.
You got your glasses on, FM professor?
A white veteran with a hatred of black men told the police that he killed a homeless man to make a statement. So somebody reposts it because we're calling this man that killed somebody a white veteran, opposed to a white supremacist that with the hatred of black man told the police that he killed a homeless man. Instead of a homeless man, it should have been an innocent black man. It doesn't matter if he had a freaking home. It doesn't matter about his crime history or any of that at this point. Like, he was innocent at this moment, and somebody just killed him for no reason.
No, for the reason that he was black.
That's not a reason.
That's bullshit. The reason why he did it, and that's why it's a terror attack. And your Trump president hasn't said anything about it.
He stabbed him multiple times in the front and the back, right?
Yeah. That's a terror attack, if you didn't know.
People need some, we be talking about black mental health. I think some of y'all need some therapy.
A lot of y'all need therapy. Americans, I don't know.
All of us need some therapy.
We need a special kind of help.
We need a fire. We need Ayanla.
We all just doomed. We need Ayanla to fix our lives. I don't know.
Our lives,
Ayanla need Ayanla to fix her life. I don't know.
She do.
Yeah, anyway. Let's move on.
What are we moving on to, girl?
Dave Chappelle, girl. Did you see the special?
I watched. It's a two-part special,
It's a two-part special, yes. Okay, so Dave Chappelle makes an epic return to stand-up after 12 years of being gone.
Wow.
Hiatus. Where the hell did you go, Dave? I don't know. You were in Africa,
disappeared.
You lost your mind, you fell off the face of the planet. And now all of a sudden, here you are again with these two Netflix specials. Like, you booked top dollar for these two specials, too. I'm not mad at it.
How much did you get paid?
$60 million is what I heard.
Wow.
Word on the street says $60 million.
They weren't that good.
You know, Dave,
I watched one.
I couldn't even sit through one.
One and a third.
So, apparently, there's a lot of uproar. Because he makes a lot of jokes on rape culture. He talks a lot about homophobia, transphobia, and a lot of people are like, Dave, we're not here for it. You saw the special. What did you think?
It wasn't that funny. Like, I literally didn't laugh until maybe 20 minutes in. And unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, I didn't laugh until we got to a couple of the homophobic jokes. And I was concerned because there was some rape jokes that were absolutely not funny, but I was really concerned because the audience was dying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't understand what's happening. And I did laugh at some of the trans jokes and some of the gay jokes.
I couldn't get past the rape joke. Like, it was like 15, 20 minutes into the bit. I didn't laugh at anything in particular. And after he started making jokes about patting women on the vagina, I just, it took a downward turn for me. And sorry, Dave, can't watch you.
And at one point, he kind of told us, like, look, man up or you're not going to get through this set. So apparently you couldn't get through the set.
I'm not man enough.
I only watched the set because I thought she watched it, you guys. Because honestly, I was done in the beginning too. But I was like, okay, I can't be outdone. I got to watch the whole show because she watched it.
I was curious because he's been gone for a while. And I never really was a fan of the Chappelle show, if I be 100. Am I going to lose my black card for that? I hope not, because I'm black.
Well, if you lose it, I'm going to lose it too.
I don't know. I wasn't into it.
No, I would watch certain skits, but I didn't like watch the show faithfully. I didn't like sit and watch reruns. There were just certain skits that I would watch because they were funny, but I wasn't like a huge fan of Chappelle. Like when he
No.
disappeared, I wasn't like crying or
Me
anything.
either. And I think it's interesting. He did an interview with Gayle King to do promo for the specials that he did for Netflix. And he talked a lot. Well, he talked a little bit about Key and Peele, which I thought was interesting. He said pretty much that he created this format on what is it, Comedy Central he was on, and he watched Key and Peele kind of just insert themselves and do his show in essence for, you know, the last 10 years or whatever. And I'm just thinking, well, now that Jordan Peele had this $100 million debut film, like, is the timing, is that, like, what are you doing, Dave? Like, why now? Like,
He needs some money.
he needs some money. He needs to work.
He needs to work. He probably missed. Well, part of the interview with Gail, he does this analogy about grabbing onto salt in this hole and then finally letting it go.
A baboon
A
does
baboon
it.
does it.
Not a what?
A baboon, right?
You said a bamboon. What is that?
Here she goes trying to play me on my words again every episode. Anyway, he said he's saying that he is the monkey. I'm gonna call it a monkey now because she's made me insecure. And he's holding on to the saw, and then he finally lets it go and sees that there's much more out there than just that saw in the hole.
Well, there's like more to the analogy and stuff, but I just think it was interesting that he stayed away because he didn't like how he was being used, how his influence, the work that he was doing was being used, and how he wasn't benefiting. He wasn't the one that was benefiting the most from the work that he was doing, so he just decided to walk away from it all. But he got them 60 mils.
He got them 60 mil, and he kind of, like, during his set, he kind of says that, look, you guys, I'm a 47 or 40-something-year-old man, like, kind of, in so many words, saying he's already stuck in his ways and how he sees things. So as far as those who were offended by his jokes, he talks about black people, he talks about Japanese people, he talks about women. He says some offensive things about black women.
Getting beat
But
up by the police.
yeah,
I was really offended.
yeah. So, but he does spend a lot of time on jokes about rape and about your sexuality. And in some parts, they were funny to me. But I could see how it would not be funny to the people that are a part of that community. And if I were y'all, I wouldn't want to watch it because I barely watched it myself. It wasn't that funny.
Do you think people are overly sensitive?
Definitely.
Because even though that there are some things in there that I was offended by, I wouldn't go and say, don't watch his special because he's this or that or whatever. I feel like he is who he is, and he has the right to be who he is and say what he thinks and express his opinions and his experience. Like, and if I don't want to hear it, I don't have to watch it. I don't have to partake in that. And people were likening the same situation to what if that was a white comedian who was saying all these racist jokes. And it's like, I bet it's a lot of white comedians that make a lot of racist jokes. It's called general television, you know? And if I don't like it, guess what? I won't watch it. That's it.
No, I agree. And I feel like in a comedy show, somebody's going to get offended, period. Like, that's just the nature of it. If you weren't offending somebody, then it's probably not funny. Although the last stand-up comedy show that I really enjoyed was Martin.
Run Tell That. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. And then his prior to that, what was that one called?
No.
But the one we like, fuck him, girl. Fuck him. No, is that Run Till That?
No, it's another one.
Okay. Well, both of those were funny to me, and I don't feel like he offended anybody race or gender-wise, but I don't know. I was younger, and I don't think I was as aware of that stuff.
That's what I was
back then.
thinking, too. Like, we're just learning a lot about, you know, these intersections that we're coming across as far as queerness and transgenderedness, and it's just... I don't know. I think a lot of these conversations weren't being had 10 years ago. So I feel like the consciousness is shifting. But like you were saying earlier, they have a platform. They have, I feel like, a voice where they can speak up and out and against these kinds of pieces that come out that are offensive to them. So do it.
That was one joke he said where he was saying, like, how did you guys surpass black people in your fight for civil rights? Those aren't his exact words, but it was something along those lines. And I thought it was funny. I know when I was reading tweets, people are like, how can you say that? But me and the homegirl was just having a conversation about that because for us, it's a new conversation. Obviously, they must have been dealing with this and fighting and organizing for a long time. But for us, it looks like, whoa, where'd you guys come from? Like, dang, and it's a lot of y'all, and y'all have a lot of valid points but we have just been sleep to it. So it does feel like y'all just came from nowhere and got a whole coalition, and we didn't even know
language and everything. Yeah, and it's just like we're learning, and I wanted to be a space where we can continue to share stories and share perspectives and continue to learn and grow in our efforts for liberation for all. For all, you know. Speaking of liberation for all, Obamacare is still the law of the land, according to Paul Ryan and everybody else at the GOP party, including Cheeto Chump.
I'm happy about that.
I am too, and I think it's really interesting that Cheeto Chump thought that he was really going to pull it together.
Cheeto Chump?
You know who Cheeto Chump is. He really thought that he was going to pull a bill together in 17 days. It took Obama 7 years to get it done. Okay? And he thought he was going to come in 17 days, Mr. I am the master, art of the deal maker, Trump University.
And I feel like it just gives us hope, because I feel like there was this idea that, the Republicans have both the houses and the Senate. So it's like, oh my gosh, like, and they have, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do? But to see that, just because you're a Republican doesn't mean that you
are voting or falling in line with this nonsense.
Yeah.
I heard Steve Bannon came in and threatened the National Freedom Caucus or something and said, you better vote for this bill or else. And they laughed at him. Like,
what I read too was those are some people who were kind of on the fence. And then after they did that, they're like, well, I vote for this. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's not how you get us to vote. Like, show us what your plan is and what you're going to do. Don't just come in and try to wipe this away.
I think that's really funny. And
it gives me hope.
Yeah, it does give me hope. And, of course, Cheeto Chump says that the reason the bill didn't pass is because of the Democrats. But it's like, bruh, Republicans have the majority in the House. Like, you don't need Democrats to vote on anything. Like, you guys have the House. Like, what are you talking about? We're not stupid.
Hello.
We see what's going on, and we coming for you.
I had a homegirl that's like, well, I'm tired of paying for people's Medi-Cal or Medicaid and stuff, and that's my taxes. So I'm not gonna tell y'all who. She's gonna watch this and be like, don't be putting my
That's my next question. Who said that?
But my point is, okay, yeah, we pay taxes for that, and there are people who are out here who are just lazy and collecting welfare. We all know that. But I mean, shit, if I'm gonna pay for something, I'd rather pay for people's Medi-Cal than pay for like a wall. I'm just saying. We gonna pay taxes on something, so might as well
not
for everybody to be able to go to the doctor
and be healthy.
Yeah,
we deserve that.
It doesn't hurt. It ain't hurting me. No. Not yet, at least.
No.
Maybe when I make a whole lot of money and then the taxes start coming out, and I'll be like,
But I still. Anyway. We're not there yet, so
we'll worry about that when we get there.
Yeah, let's speak on something that we do know about. I want to talk about Kendrick Lamar's new song.
I love Kendrick.
I love me some Kendrick. I don't care, hip-hop fans. Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper alive, period.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's the greatest rapper alive. Hands down. Like, I don't want to hear it. And everybody who keeps pitting him against Drake and Big Sean, like, excuse the hell out of me. When did Big Sean get on the radar as being one of the greatest rapper, and why? Like, why is he even in the conversation? Because Kendrick dissed him? Is that how he got involved in this conversation?
Kendrick dissed everybody. Kendrick told everybody, I'm coming for you, but he did it on Big Sean's song, Control. And that's Big Sean's fault. Why would you put Kendrick on a song with you when lyrically and content-wise, you guys don't even line up? Like, Big Sean, you like to talk about ass and titties and liquor.
He makes club joints, and he sounds like he has a sinus infection.
She can't stand his...
I hate his pitch. I cannot stand his pitch. Like, shut up.
But I like Big Sean. I like working out to Big Sean. I like to dance and drink to Big Sean. Like, but as far as you being the greatest rapper alive, absolutely not, baby boy. I'm sorry. Kendrick is trumping you. And then he is Cheeto trumping you, okay? And then so I was watching this girl snap, and she's like, am I the only one that thinks Kendrick is overrated? And then in the next snap, she starts playing Drake.
Okay, so let's talk about Drake's new album, More Life. Okay, what did y'all think about it? Personally, I'm like Z on the beat.
Yeah, I feel like it's another Drake album. I feel like it's not bad, but it's not It's not a level up. It's not anything new. It's literally the same content. He's talking about women who he slept with and who
He's talking about his side piece that has a 5S with the cracked screen. Like, why she got a cracked screen, Drake? Why she can't even have at least a 6S?
But why do I care that her screen is cracked? My screen was cracked a few months ago.
My
Like, what does that mean?
Right now, Drake, and what? Like,
and
what's
I mean,
your
I
point?
feel like those parts are why people love Drake, because somebody can talk about their ex with a cracked screen and relate, or they are the ex with the cracked screen. So it's like, oh yes, Drake, I just feel you. I'm in my feelings, but I'm not in my feelings anymore because I was in my feelings with you the last 3 albums, and you're not doing anything new. Like, I'd rather just go back and listen to those albums.
You remind me, Drake, of all of the guys that like I break up with or like I don't take serious because I don't know.
You don't even remind me of that. You just keep whining about the same shit. I want to hear something else. Personally.
I do, and you're not the greatest rapper alive, Drake. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not. And I don't know. I think this album that you put out, More Life, is pretty corny. You're a cornball. Like, I respect you. Like, there are some things that you've done in musically that I really do like.
But see, this is my thing. Like, I wouldn't even go as far as to say, oh, Drake is overrated. I feel like if you really mess with Drake, I feel like he's earned that from the body of work that he continues to produce. He continues to produce quality stuff. My thought is, it is quality. Like, if you like that sound, if you like that, it's not bad. It's,
okay.
Well, you don't. Okay, what about that guy on the album?
He has like this guy who is from the UK. He has his accents. You know, I'm fine with the accent, but he is corny. His flow is whack.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Lyrically, he's whack. Like, why you even have him on your album, Drake?
I agree with that.
And people were saying like, oh, you know, Black Americans think that hip hop is only the wave in America. So like, we're having a hard time digesting that. It's like, no, I have no problems with that. He's just corny. He's not good at it.
He's not good. There was this UK artist a long time ago. I don't even remember her name. She's not relevant anymore, but I loved her. And she
Ella
was
Mai
rapping,
is a UK artist. Oops.
but she do sound American.
So what?
But with me, the whole thing back to Kendrick, I don't understand how you can discredit him or anything, because not only is his cadence crazy, ridiculous, his beat is funky as hell. He talks about current political issues. He talks about hood politics, and he talks about ass and titties here and there.
Who packages Black history in a Hot 16 like that?
Who else? What way?
And everybody's all, what else does Kendrick do besides funny voices? What you mean?
Are you
his
serious?
Theatrical cadence on the track, the way that he tells story, his powerful punchlines. What are you talking about?
I am caping for Kendrick. Don't
All
ever
day.
come to me talking about Kendrick unless it's good stuff.
And I think he just, it's a West Coast thing. It's a vibe, yo. It's a vibe. And all my ladies and gentlemen that are from the West Coast that are Black Twitter talking with us, you know what we talking about.
Because a lot of times when people talk mess about Kendrick, they are not from the West Coast.
No. And we West Coasting all day, baby. You know, we from the Inglewood, right next door to Compton. So we know Kendrick. We get it.
It's a certain groove that comes within West Coast music that I just feel like East Coast people can't even hear it. Unfortunately, they're too up on the go, never sleep vibe, and we're so like laid back over here. I feel like they can't hear it.
The way that Kendrick skate on them tracks is ridiculous. He said y'all got until April 7th to get your shit together.
April 7th. I don't think that's enough time.
I don't know what he do.
I'm looking forward
what's
to
up with SZA's album though?
SZA, where you at, girl? All we heard was Drew Barrymore.
I know, and that was cool. But I would like to hear more from you. Yeah.
The guy featured on Kendrick's song, Khalid, I think I want to call him Khaled, but I think it's Khalid. He just dropped the album also the beginning of March. I heard one song from it. It was pretty dope, and a lot of people have been talking about him. So
go check it out. I'm going to go check it out, and I'm going to tell y'all what I think. I'm going to give y'all the honest opinion. You know us.
We already.
Shit. Oh, we what? We already what?
No, we already know you're going to be on this.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I think, are we done?
I think so.
There's a couple other things on here, but I don't want to talk about them anymore.
Oh, well, okay.
So, we will see you guys next week. That was so much fun.
We miss you guys all the time.
Make sure you comment.
Yeah, let us know what you think about anything we talked about. Let us know.
If you want to talk about something, if you want to come on, let us know. Talk to us. You can find me on Twitter at Angie_Skates and on the gram at Big_Ange.
And you know you can find me at The Urban Gypsy LA on all social media.
Social media.
Bye. Oh, bye, you guys. I can't stare at you.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood
Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.